Deep in the deep blue ocean, where the currents sang softly and sunlight danced through the waves, lived a very special mermaid named Marina. She was a radiant being, with hair that flowed like seaweed and eyes the color of the clearest tropical waters. But what truly set Marina apart wasn't her beauty. It was her extraordinary heart. Unlike other mermaids who delighted in collecting pearls or singing to sailors, Marina had a unique and profound gift. She loved caring for the great creatures of the sea, the mighty orcas, the powerful sharks, and the ancient, wise sea turtles. To her, every animal, no matter how big or small, how fierce or gentle, deserved love and respect. The ocean wasn't just her home, it was her family, and she was its devoted guardian. The orcas, with their sleek black and white bodies, were her closest and dearest friends. They were the gentle giants of her world, and they considered Marina one of their own. They would swim around her in graceful, protective formations, their calls echoing through the water like a beautiful, complex song. They were her family, her protectors. Whenever an orca was hurt, perhaps scraped by a sharp reef or tangled in old fishing lines, Marina would be the first to help. She would carefully gather special, healing seaweeds, the kind that shimmered with a soft, green light. Placing them gently on the wound, she would then begin to sing. Her voice wasn't just beautiful, it was magical. It carried the calm of the deep ocean, a gentle lullaby that soothed the pain and whispered promises of healing until the hurt faded away completely. The orcas would close their eyes, listening, trusting her completely. Then there were the sharks. So often feared and misunderstood by others, these powerful predators were seen as nothing more than hunters. But Marina saw beyond their sharp teeth and intimidating presence. She saw their strength, their intelligence, and their vital role in the ocean's balance. More importantly, she saw their capacity for gentleness. She taught them that strength didn't have to mean aggression. It could mean confidence, and it could mean control. The sharks, in turn, trusted her deeply, sensing the pure kindness in her heart. Grey Sea, the oldest and largest shark in the reef, a magnificent creature with scars that told stories of a long and challenging life, held a special respect for her. Whenever Marina approached, this giant of the deep would stop, lower his massive head, and wait patiently. A silent gesture of honor and trust that spoke louder than any words. And of course, there were the turtles. These ancient mariners were like the wise grandparents of the ocean. Their shells were maps of time, etched with the patterns of their long journeys across the world's seas. Marina felt a deep reverence for their wisdom and resilience. She spent countless hours with them, helping the older turtles find safe, warm currents to travel on, away from the dangers of storms or predators. She would clear paths for them through dense kelp forests and guide them to the most delicious seagrass meadows. And when the new hatchlings emerged, tiny and vulnerable, from their nests on sandy shores, Marina was there. She was their first guardian, their gentle guide, protecting them from hungry seabirds and guiding them through the turbulent shallows into the calm, safe waters where they could begin their own great adventure. One day, a darkness gathered on the horizon. The sky turned a bruised purple, and a powerful storm, a true tempest, began to churn the sea into a wild, chaotic frenzy. The gentle currents Marina knew so well became raging torrents. Waves crashed against the reefs with the force of thunder, and the serene home she cherished was thrown into turmoil. The storm wreaked havoc. A group of elderly sea turtles, caught by the violent surge, were thrown against a rocky outcrop and became trapped between heavy, shifting boulders. A young orca, separated from its pod, was slammed against a coral wall and lay injured, its cries lost in the roar of the ocean. And Grey Sea, the great shark, became disoriented in the murky, swirling water, swimming in confused circles, unable to find his way to the safety of the deeper canyons. Fear rippled through the ocean's inhabitants, but not through Marina. Seeing her friends in peril, a calm and fierce determination settled in her heart. There was no time for fear, there was only time for action. She swam against the furious currents, her purpose giving her strength. First, she found the scattered and frightened animals. "We must work together," she called out, her voice cutting through the storm's fury. She gathered everyone, her presence a beacon of hope in the chaos. She turned to the mighty orcas who had managed to stay together. Your strength can move mountains, or in this case, rocks, she told them. Working as one, guided by Marina's clear direction, the orcas used their powerful bodies to push against the massive stones that had trapped the turtles. With a great, coordinated effort, they shifted the boulders one by one, creating a passage to freedom. The turtles, weak but grateful, slowly swam out, safe at last. Next, she turned to the disoriented grey sea. I need your strength to clear a path, she said, her voice calm and reassuring. The great shark, still confused, focused on her, his trust in her overriding his fear. Together, they swam towards a huge pile of debris that was blocking a crucial channel, a safe passage to calmer waters. With the shark's incredible power, they smashed through the blockage, opening a safe route for the smaller fish and the injured to escape the storm's wrath. Finally, she swam to the injured orca. With the help of the ancient turtles, who knew the secret, calm pockets of the ocean even in a storm, they guided the young whale to a sheltered cove. There, away from the raging sea, Marina tended to its wounds, singing her healing song until its panicked breathing slowed and its eyes showed relief. The storm had brought chaos, but Marina had brought unity. With the help of the orcas, she moved the stones. With the strength of the shark, she opened a safe path. And with the calm of the turtles, peace began to return to their corner of the ocean. When the last of the storm clouds finally passed and the sun broke through, casting a golden light over the sea, a profound peace settled over the water. The ocean was calm again, but it was a different kind of calm. It was a calm filled with gratitude and a newfound sense of unity. The orcas, overjoyed, leaped from the water, their bodies arcing through the air in a spectacular display of joy. The sharks, led by Gracie, swam in wide, graceful circles around Marina, a silent, powerful dance of thanks. And the old turtles, their ancient eyes filled with wisdom, smiled their slow, knowing smiles. It was in that moment of perfect harmony that a wondrous light began to glow in the water. The light grew brighter and brighter, coalescing into a shimmering, ethereal form. It was the spirit of the ocean, an ancient and powerful entity that had watched over the seas since the dawn of time. The spirit's voice was like the whisper of the tides and the rumble of the deep, and it spoke directly to Marina. Marina, the voice echoed, filled with warmth and admiration. Your heart unites the sea. Your courage and your love have shown everyone that compassion is the greatest strength. Because of you, the strongest and the slowest, the fiercest and the gentlest, can live together in harmony. As the spirit spoke, a soft, pearlescent glow enveloped Marina. It was a blessing, a mark of her new role. From that day forward, Marina was no longer just a kind mermaid who loved animals. She became known throughout the seven seas as the protector of the great sea, a legend whispered on the currents. And even now, people say that her spirit lives on. They say that whenever you see an orca breach and sing its joyful song, or a shark swimming peacefully alongside smaller fish, or a tiny turtle hatchling making its way safely to the endless blue, it is because Marina, the protector of the great sea, is still there watching over them, all her heart forever filled with love. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed our journey into the deep with Marina, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more magical tales.